A Eugene man knows all about what it takes to put together the Oscars. He worked as an orchestrator on the 81st Annual Academy Awards, but his resume includes much more than that. The first 4.5 minutes of the movie Up are like a movie within a movie. They capture the essence of love, despite the characters hardly uttering a word. Viewers were mesmerized as an entire lifetime passed before their eyes in just a few short, fleeting moments.
Carl and Ellie meet each other, they get married, and then you see them age, getting older, and their life progresses, and the ups and downs and all that.
What we forget is the underlying reason we connect to the couple's story. That music.
It goes from a very old kind of period style of the 20s and 30s kind of music, but then it goes into like a romantic moment when they're looking in the clouds and seeing the clouds turn into little babies and things like that.
Larry Kenton can tell you all about the music in Up and Ratatouille, Star Trek, and Mission Impossible 3. Hollywood, as it turns out, relies heavily on the work that's going on in Eugene, where Kenton lives and works as an orchestrator.
In orchestration, what we do is we take the sketches and the ideas, musical ideas that the composer actually has come up with for that, and fill in all the coloration for the orchestra.
In his home office in South Eugene, Kenton offers up an example of a sketch from the composer. To a non-musical mind, it might look like gibberish. To an orchestrator, this is the starting point.
He writes instructions at the top of the page or whatever it is, and we also get an audio file that we can kind of get an idea of the direction they want to go.
In time, it undergoes a transformation. Notes filled in, instruments assigned.
I have to tell every single player every note they get to play.
Even if his name isn't the one that pops up 2 feet high in the theaters like the composer's, Kenton's happy knowing he had a part in some of the most magical moments in film history.
And it just comes back sounding better than you write it, which I love.
Which was likely the case when he saw the story of that little odd couple unfolding in front of him. A story that had its life breathed into it, far from the hustle and bustle of Hollywood.
These are the Oscars, and this is my dream.
Remember that whole routine from the Oscars a couple years ago? Well, Kenton had his hand in that too. The same composer who recruited him on Up got asked to do the music for the 81st Annual Academy Awards. Kenton was part of a team of orchestrators who worked on 121 pieces of music.
Each one of us had about 9 or 10 pieces of music to do in about a week and a half or 2 weeks, including the big production numbers with Hugh Jackman and Beyonce and Queen Latifah and all the people that showed up. And it was quite a challenge.
Kenton says he's proud he can say he worked on the Oscars and an Oscar-winning film.